So first of all, I'm gonna create a project because I don't have one. Let's go for new. You should always be working with a project, as you probably already know. I'm just gonna name it, 3D 124. That used to be my class. Floor, last name, personality walk. Right? Now I'm just gonna work on my desktop, so I'll just save it there. I'll click accept. Right. So one of the first things that I want to do is go and put, so let's say I have already my images that I exported. Brett did show you how to do this, so I shouldn't have to go over this. It should be in the videos as well. And I'm gonna go to my desktop and I'm gonna dump all of this inside my source images. So they're all my frames inside my source images folder. Now, what I want to do is I want to attach an image plane. So you're going to go to create free image plane and you can just click on it. There's not really much that we have to worry about. And then we're going to go to its attributes under the attribute editor. You see over here it calls for an image name. You're going to click on this folder. If you have set your project correctly, it should take you to the source images folder right away. I'm going to click only on the first I don't know why this is white, but I'll start from the second one. So I'm only going to click on the first frame of my video. I'm going to click open. And there we go. I can see it. Now I can scale this image plane all the way I want to. So maybe I want to put it here. I'm going to put it here just as of now. Make it as big or as small as you can or want. Alright, now if I scrub through my timeline, you'll see that nothing's happening, right? It doesn't move. But that's because over here, there's the use image sequence. And now that you click on it, now you see that it takes me to that first image that I had, which is this one. And this is because it's reading that first image that I had here, but I don't want it to read that because I have no use for that. I want my frame 1, right, to start with this image. So what I can do is over here where it says frame offset, I can make that to be offset by 1. And there we go. I'm at frame 1 and it's starting in the second image. So essentially frame offset is just how many images you want to skip before it starts at frame 1. Now that I have it, there we go. So I only want, that's my first contact, my second contact, and then my contact again. So technically this is 26 frames, so that's okay. So that's going to be my walk cycle, right? Now what I want to do next is get my rig. Now Brett did mention that you can use any of the rigs that we have. So I'm going to go over here, Chris Materials, Term 2, Animation 2, and there's this folder called Rigs. You can choose between complex or simple. Just be very careful with the rig that you choose. Make sure you take the proper time to explore it. I think I'm going to go for a simple one. I'm going to go with Norman. He is one of the most simple characters ever. So I'm going to copy his file and I'm going to paste it to my project right here, desktop. And I'm going to paste it under the scenes folder. There we go. Now again, we don't want to import it. We don't want to open that file. We want to click over here, create reference. And this is okay. I don't want to use namespaces. And then I'm going to click on reference. And here we go. If I have set my project correctly, and if I put my character under the scenes folder, it's going to take me directly to it. And then I'm going to click with reference. It's going to take a little while to load up. There we go. Now I have two options, right? I can either make my character smaller or I can make this bigger. It's really up to you. What do you want to do? If I make my image plane too big, you can see that it starts to get very pixelated. So in my case, I think I'm going to make the rig smaller. This rig, I'm not going to do an overview, but make sure that you take the time to do that. I like this rig because it has, you know, you can control the visibility of the geo as well. So if you ever want to not see something, if you want to focus, for example, on the chest, you can just hide the arms. And there we go. You can see the chest without the arms. But anyway, you'll see that there's not many controls. That's because they're all hidden. You have to click in this viz control thingy. And there we go. You want to click on, maybe not the face because we're not animating the face, but we are animating the spine. We're animating the left arm, the hand, the fingers if you want to pose them, the right arm, and so on. You want to activate the extra because that's where the IK, FK switches exist. So by default, the arms are FK, and so are the legs. But over here in these two EX controls, you can see there's a switch for the legs, and then we turn it on, and then there we go. They're IK again. Right, so I'm gonna scale my character to be a little bit smaller. And if I want to be a little bit more precise, I can go to the front view. Or you might have put it in a different view and it would have to be in the right side. But I want to go to the front view and I just want to make, you know, my best guess. Maybe that's, you know, what's best for my character. And I'm going to rotate him. There we go. Now, ideally you do have a side view of your reference and a front view. But then if you go to the front view or to the right view or left view, you're not going to see the image plane. So what you have to do is select your image plane and hit Ctrl D to duplicate it. And then we're going to rotate it this way. Now, if a plane is in the way, what you can do is you can put it in the back instead, and then you can work from the left view. And there you go. If you're wondering how am I accessing this without going to panel and whatever or orthographic, I just hold down spacebar and it pops this, and then right click and it pops this other menu. And then I just highlight one of them and then let go. All right. There we go. So I have all of that. And now what you're going to hand in is the key poses for your character. So that would be the contact. I'm just going to make this really quick. There we go. You're gonna, obviously you want to make it pretty so I can see that her left leg is going forwards. So I'm going to put my character the same way. He's going forwards. This is going backwards. And maybe drop his hips a little bit. So it's not, you know, overextending. There we go. I'm gonna, oh, I forgot about my filters. Of course you want to do that. So we want to go up here, all objects off, curves. I'm going to select everything, I'm going to key it. And now I know that my first frame and my last frame are going to be the same. And then I'm going to click for the other contact, which for her is frame 14. I'm going to hit key here. I'm going to select these two. I'm going to do the same trick that Brett gave you. If you go over to, if you're working through 3D Cheat, you can go over to this tab, EFS Animation, and there's this little button that says PR Cell. That's just going to help you with your selections. All right, here we go. So what I can do here is right click, create set. I'm just going to call this Norman. And I'm going to click on the left leg. New selection. I'm gonna name it left leg, and then I'm gonna click on the right leg. I'm gonna hit right click, new selection, right leg. There we go. So if I click on this, right, it acts as if I were selecting the actual curve, and what I can do is hit left leg, and then if I hit on this plus button, it'll select the other one as well. So what I want to do, go to frame 1, left leg, right leg, copy, and then I'm going to go to frame 14. I'm going to do the opposite, right leg, left leg, paste. There we go. This is super simple. Of course, you want to make it, you know, prettier. And you can do the same thing with the arms. Again, new selection. This is my right arm. And then this one, right click, new selection, left arm. So what I can do, again, frame 1, left arm, right arm, copy, go to frame 14, or whatever frame is your other contact pose. Oh. And then you can do right arm, left arm, paste. And there we go. And you know, you want to create the next it looks so funny like that. You want to create the next poses the same way you did for your previous walk cycle, but in this case you just want to be a little bit more careful with the timing. For example, you know, the previous one was 24 frames, I believe, and this one's 26 frames. I think the previous one was 13 where the main pose, the other contact was, and this is frame 14. So it depends on your reference, the type of frames and timings and spacing you're gonna have to do, but just adjust it to that. But everything else should work the same. You still want to mirror stuff. And you'll notice, for example, if we look at her from the front view, there we go. If we take a look at her from here, you notice that the first step is not identical to the second, right? You can see that the back foot is going that way. And in this step, the back foot is actually pointing out a little bit. It's up to you to decide which one you want to keep. Just make sure that you copy and paste the one you like. Okay, and then again, you're gonna select everything. You're gonna go to your graph editor. Again, under the VFS animation tab in 3D, you should see this GE shortcut, and that's for the graph editor. You're gonna select all your curves, and you're gonna hit step mode. Obviously, you're gonna have more than just 3 keys. You should have, you know, your contact down, passing up, contact down, passing up, contact again. This is just for demonstration purposes. So yeah, and then you're gonna play blast the same way you've always play blasted. If you can leave it here, let's go to front. There we go. You don't want, again, nerve groups. You can hit none, but then everything will disappear. If you want to have the image plane back, you're gonna have to look for it over here. Image planes. There we go. We don't want the grid either. So that's gonna be my side view, right? And again, play blast. You know the drill, right? Obviously you want to have, you know, overscan and everything else. All right, good luck.